What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Elliott Delp. This is
Sparky.
back again like you never left. And today on Basement Operator, we're going to be talking about the brand new Vortex Venom. But before we do, we would like to give a few important disclaimers. First things first, Basement Operator Company.
Bye.
Bam. That's where we get all of our stuff from. That's us.
Know what material that is?
What is that?
It's LARPer material.
That is LARPer material. Go to basementoperator.com. There you can find our builds, our merchandise,
Stickers,
our affiliates, stickers, all kinds of great stuff over at basementoperator.com. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go check us out. Next thing's next, we got to give a big thank you to Optics Planet. So Optics Planet did send out this Vortex for this video, so thank you to them. That's kind of our relationship. We really wanted to get our hands on the new Venom, especially since we have a fangirl right here.
Anything Vortex, I'd buy it.
Yeah.
I'm like a Glock fan, but with Vortex.
Exactly. So this is the Vortex Venom. It's recently been out as of, January, I think.
Yeah.
So it's only been out for a few months. We were able to get our hands on it. We've had it since the release and we've been shooting it a lot. We have it here on the American Defense rifle, so big shout out to American Defense for helping us with the rifle. Use code Delp at American Defense.
And Optics Planet.
And Optics Planet for both of them. So the American Defense is a fantastic rifle. And then the Vortex, we did all of our testing on it through that. But this is kind of the next linear progression in Vortex's more budget optics.
Yeah.
All right, so this is what I think will be taking over the Strike Eagle, what they'll be moving to and kind of phasing the Strike Eagle out. That's my opinion.
This is just a step above it.
Yeah, so how the Strike Eagle phased out the Crossfire stuff?
Yeah, because the Strike Eagle was a step above a Crossfire, and we're moving rungs up that ladder.
Yeah, so this is what's going to, in my opinion, going to take over the Strike Eagle. This thing MSRP is for $450, which is about the cost of a Strike Eagle. You can get it for $3 something on Optics Planet. Use code DELP, saves you 7% off. But and the price is right there at that entry mid-range LPVO.
Yeah.
You're not pushing $1,000, and which I would say is kind of like your mid to higher end. This is kind of your starting point that a lot of people go to for LPVOs. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. We're going to go from the big end to the little end. All right, so we're going to, yeah, base. God, no. We're going to start down here on this end, and we're going to work our way to the objective. Sparky, do you want to start us out?
Sure, I like Vortex. You got your eye relief adjustment right here. It's nice and sturdy, so you can back it out if you need to, bring it in if you need to, whatever you want to do. You got your magnification ring, goes from 1, 1/2, 2, all the way up to 6.
And it's a nice stiff turn,
it's very
in my opinion.
Stiff. It doesn't have a throw lever, which some people might like, some people might not like. Go.
You can always buy one.
So it doesn't have a throw lever.
And as optics are becoming more and more, I guess, just included, I'm finding I'm not even putting it on, depending on,
as stiff as this one is, I feel like that throw lever
it might help.
Yeah, and plus where it's at. Like if you know that, okay, if it's on 1, my throw lever's right here. You can without even reading the numbers, what magnification is.
You know what I like instead of a throw lever? I like the more kind of just like
the raised,
edges, so because the throw levers can get really far out there and they can catch on things.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I feel like every time I walk anywhere and I have anything that can get caught on something, especially like a little piece of metal that's just sticking out, it's catching on every single one of like my cords. It's going to be, it does something. So I like just the raised edges.
Yeah, like Sig does that, where it's just raised and you can screw the lever in if you wanted it.
Yeah. I think that is way more user-friendly.
But it would be nice to have the option.
But some people like the ability to just catch it and rip it hard.
That's what I like. That's the way I love it. I like having throw lever on there, easy to grab.
Yeah.
And you know where it's at.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's one thing. Maybe it can be integrated in, but, as of right now, it's not. But the 1:6 magnification is good. In terms of any type of bubble or distortion, I feel like, that 1X is a really nice clean 1X, and the 6 power is, it's a 6 power.
Yeah.
When you're using the 1X magnification, I feel like it's a very nice clean 1X. The eye relief I had a little bit of an issue with. I was getting a lot of the black box around it.
Yeah, but you got this a hair. Well, I mean, it's closed, but
I mean, it's right there at the charging handle.
Yeah. But you could have fixed that by scooting it back just a hair.
Just a hair.
You could, like, in the mount, you could have scooted it back just a hair.
Yeah.
That depends on the person. Like that just depends on who's running it, what length your stock's at, and all that kind of stuff. Flow. The eye relief, you can fix that. I would say that's all very specific to the person. Like if it was no matter where you put it, you had that the black outer ring. I'd say yeah, that's a Vortex issue. It shouldn't be that
But I
way.
feel like I have to get further up on it than I'm used to though.
No, okay, that's true. There might be something to it.
I don't know.
But it just depends. It just depends on what's your length of your stock and how far forward
All
you push
I'm
this.
saying is I set it up exactly how I set up all the other ones.
Crooked. Okay.
Anyway, moving forward, you got a 30 millimeter tube. We're running an American Defense mount on it. Stupid awesome mount. This is a very high-end mount, but you can save 10% off by using code Delp. Shameless plug. Moving to kind of what's different really between it and the Strike Eagle is these turrets, these capped turrets. And Sparky had already mentioned these kind of off camera and we kind of talked about it a little bit. They are pretty nice.
You're not going to turn those by accident.
Yeah.
And you know it when you can just feel it. It's got a nice click. I like it.
Anyway, sparking is clicks. They have a quarter MOA adjustment, which are very standard in terms of optics. 140 MOA of travel, and this is an MOA optic itself. So, that's a lot of travel for you to adjust for a lot of bad shooting. So if you need to do your dialing in or whatever you're doing with this thing. Actually, why on earth would you even need that much travel? What are you using this thing that you need to do that much?
If you need that much travel, I'd just blame it on the wind.
Yeah, exactly. But the option is there in case you do need it. It does have an illuminated reticle. This has an AR BDC3 reticle. Hunter popped that up somewhere
over in here.
Yeah, you see it? Okay. So there's it for us.
Looks like Strike Eagle.
Yeah, looks like a Strike Eagle reticle.
It's got the ranging in the top of the reticle, which if you know your target's a man-sized target, you can range it.
Yeah, it's a very common reticle. Vortex puts it in a lot of their optics.
But it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. We're kind of used to it. Like I said, I have a Strike Eagle. Sparky has a Strike Eagle. We've used it quite consistently.
We're very familiar with that reticle.
With the reticle. So I mean, it's nothing insane. The red illuminates the top and corners and the dot.
The outer ring and the dot.
So you throw up on your 1X, you throw it up, you see red, and you shoot.
Yep.
So.
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Moving forward from it, you have your objective, 24 millimeter objective. It's super common for your AR or for your LPVOs. Nothing too insane there. Some other stupid specs that no one really cares about. You're having your weight at 19.5 ounces. Actually, I feel like that's kind of heavy.
I could not tell you, to be honest with you.
It is. That is kind of heavy.
Kind of heavy?
Am I wrong?
I pop it up in all the videos.
Yeah, 19.5 is actually kind of pretty heavy.
But this is supposed to be, it's got bigger turrets and better glass than the Strike Eagle, so it should be a little heavier.
No.
Huh?
No. It's too heavy.
But I'm saying it should be heavier than the Strike Eagle because of the turrets and the glass.
Actually, I don't know what a Strike Eagle weighs. Pop that up too, Hunter. But I'm pretty sure like most of the LPVOs are like a pound and an ounce or something like that. This is like
so it'd be 17 and not.
This is 19.5.
So it's a little heavier.
So it's a little heavier. Honestly, I couldn't tell. That's the first time, just reading through the spec sheet, that's the first time I could find anything. And then the length is 10.3 inches if you're into specs. Honestly, if we're just gonna talk about it, kind of be real, the optic is a good optic. I think that it is not an incredible improvement on the Strike Eagle, if I'm being completely honest with you. I think that the optic is it feels like an optic just to replace an optic. Like, I feel like there's
nothing game-changing about this.
I feel like exactly. I feel like there's nothing game-changing about it. And I feel like Vortex just released something so that they could release something.
The only thing different between this and a Strike Eagle is the turrets, a little bit better glass, and he got a 1.5 printed on the magnification ring.
Yeah,
that's the only difference, and no throw lever. That's the only differences I can think of between this and the Strike Eagle.
So if it was me, personally,
would you spend the extra $100-ish, $150 to buy this over a Strike Eagle?
No.
No.
I don't think so either. I mean, it's really which one could you find for a better deal, and which one could you get the most accessories out of, I think, is if you're mounted between this and a Strike Eagle. So for example, if you're finding this and an optic mount and it's like $350, and then a Strike Eagle by itself is, you know,
$250.
Yeah, just I almost consider them the same optic, pretty much. In terms of feel and just us shooting it, in terms of usable features, I don't feel like that this is anything crazy compared to it. I mean, it works. It's a very nice optic, but you know, if I really feel like Vortex just released this for the sake of releasing.
Like there's no real big buying point to buy this over.
No,
Strike
so
Eagle.
I think if you're set on a Vortex and you want an LPVO and you want their more entry level LPVOs, I think this will do you well. If you can find a good deal on it, pick it up. It'll be great. If you find a good deal on their Strike Eagle, their other entry level optics line, pick that up and it'll work just as good as this one. So I mean,
they're very comparable. I mean, like, so this is just a little bit more nicer turrets and nicer glass.
It's newer.
That's it.
But, you know, you say nicer glass, I can't really, when I'm looking through it, I don't think it's, you know,
I think
worlds different.
No, not worlds difference, but you can tell it's a little clearer. Like, to me, it looks a little bit better than a Strike Eagle.
I would have to have, like, a super side-by-side comparison and just, I mean, I have a hard time seeing the difference in glass anyway, but that's just me, my bad vision, I suppose. I mean, in terms of optics, it's a good optic. And it'll work. It'll be good for your entry-level user, and I think that could about wrap it there. Any closing comments, Mr. Vortex Shield?
Vortex, buy once, cry once, lifetime warranty.
That's true. Buy once, cry once, lifetime warranty. We appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Go check us out at basementoperator.com.
Please.
Thank you to Optics Planet for sending this optic out, and use code DELP over at Optics Planet if you see anything you like. As always, take some outdoors. Peace.
Base tip was pretty good. The tip gets farther away the more you stroke it.